Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to give you something more powerful than motivation. I'm going to give you laws, principles, unbreakable truths. Because motivation fades, emotion burns out, but laws, they govern your results whether you know them or not. Learn to work with them, and they will change your life forever. So let's not waste time. Let's dive in. Your thoughts have immense power. Everything you experience in life, every success or failure, begins with what's happening inside your mind. What you think, you become. This is not just a motivational saying. It's the truth about how the mind shapes reality. Your thoughts form the lens through which you view the world, and this lens directly influences your decisions, your actions, and ultimately your results. Consider the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis. How often do you think negatively or doubt yourself? When you dwell on limitations, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You begin to act in ways that reflect those beliefs. If you think you're not capable of achieving something, you will unconsciously avoid the actions that would lead to success. This can become a cycle where your mind keeps reinforcing the same limiting beliefs, trapping you in a place of mediocrity or stagnation. On the other hand, when you focus on possibilities, on growth, and on believing in your potential, you begin to act differently. Your thoughts align with your ambitions, and this alignment attracts opportunities that match your mindset. Positive thoughts aren't about blind optimism or ignoring challenges. They're about maintaining the belief that you can find solutions and push through obstacles. When your thoughts are grounded in possibility, you start seeing chances and ideas you would have missed otherwise. The power of thought also extends beyond the individual. When you think with intention and clarity, it not only impacts your personal life, but also influences how others perceive you. People are drawn to those who project confidence and certainty. Your thoughts, when clear and focused, create a magnetic energy that attracts like-minded individuals, opportunities, and success. Conversely, doubt and negativity repel the things you want to bring into your life. Thoughts are the foundation of all action. Every decision, every movement you make stems from what's in your mind. Whether consciously or unconsciously, your thoughts are leading you in a direction. The more intentional you are with your thinking, the more control you have over the course of your life. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are the seeds that grow into your reality. Desire and faith are two of the most powerful forces in the world. They are the catalysts that ignite the engine of achievement. Without them, you can have all the talent, knowledge, and resources in the world, but you will still fall short. Desire is the fuel that drives you to want something so badly that it pushes you to take action even when faced with challenges. Faith is the unshakable belief that it's not just possible, but certain that you can achieve your goal even when the evidence suggests otherwise. Desire is more than just wishing for something or hoping for better circumstances. It's a deep, burning yearning that stirs you from within. It's what keeps you going when others quit. It's the reason why some people continue to strive toward their goals despite repeated failures, while others give up at the first sign of trouble. When your desire is strong enough, it becomes a force that propels you forward, often overcoming fears, doubts, and limitations. It becomes a vision you cannot ignore, a goal that you must reach, no matter the obstacles that appear in your path. Faith, on the other hand, is the belief that your desire is achievable. It's the knowing that even though you may not have all the answers right now, the universe or the forces that govern success will provide what you need at the right time. Faith is not blind. It is built on the understanding that everything happens in its own time and that the universe will align with your efforts if you remain true to your purpose. Faith isn't about hoping for things to happen. It's about believing that success is inevitable as long as you keep moving toward your goal. When desire and faith work together, they create an unstoppable force. The combination of these two elements makes you relentless. They give you the energy to face adversity, the strength to continue when things get tough, and the courage to step into the unknown. Desire gives you the passion to begin, and faith keeps you steady when the journey becomes difficult. When these two forces are united within you, there is nothing that can stand in your way. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without action, your goals remain nothing more than distant hopes, and your desires are just fleeting wishes. It's easy to get caught up in planning, thinking, and dreaming about what you want to achieve, but these things are meaningless without the physical steps that move you closer to your goal. The key difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. One group takes consistent, bold action, while the other gets stuck in their thoughts and fears. Taking action is not always about getting everything perfect from the start. In fact, the most successful people often take imperfect action. They don't wait for the perfect moment or until everything is lined up just right. They understand that waiting for perfection is simply procrastination in disguise. Instead, they act. They start with what they have and refine their approach as they go along. It's this willingness to begin, even if the first step isn't perfect, that allows them to gain momentum. Action also leads to clarity. Often, we can get trapped in overthinking and analysis paralysis, trying to figure out the best possible way to do something before we take the first step. But clarity doesn't come from thinking endlessly, it comes from doing. It's only when you start moving that you get real-world feedback. You learn what works and what doesn't, which allows you to pivot, adjust, and refine your approach. The more action you take, the clearer your path becomes. Another key aspect of taking action is persistence. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and setbacks along the way. It's during these moments that action becomes crucial. You can't afford to stop. When things get difficult, the tendency is to slow down or even give up. But those who keep pushing forward, the mind is a garden, and the thoughts you plant in it every day determine the life you live. Autosuggestion is the process of consciously feeding your subconscious mind with thoughts, affirmations, and beliefs that align with your goal. The subconscious does not judge, question, or filter what you tell it. It simply accepts repeated input as truth and begins to shape your actions and reactions accordingly. This is why repetition is so powerful. Whatever you tell yourself over and over again eventually becomes your reality, whether it empowers you or holds you back. Most people speak to themselves with limitation. They say things like, "I'm not good enough," "I could never do that," or "That's just who I am." These phrases may seem harmless, but when repeated consistently, they sink deep into the subconscious and become self-fulfilling. You begin to act in ways that match the identity you've unknowingly programmed. But just as the mind can be programmed for mediocrity, it can also be programmed for greatness. Through intentional repetition of empowering thoughts, you can rewire your inner dialogue and create a mental environment that supports your success. Autosuggestion is not just about positive thinking, it's about mental training. It's the daily discipline of planting specific thoughts that reinforce your desired identity and goal. Statements like, "I am focused," "I am disciplined," "I am capable of achieving anything I commit to," may feel unnatural at first, but with repetition they begin to feel familiar. And once they feel familiar, they begin to feel real. The subconscious starts aligning your behavior with those beliefs. You notice new levels of motivation, resilience, and clarity, not because the world changed, but because you did. This process doesn't happen overnight. Just like physical fitness, mental conditioning requires consistency. You don't get strong by going to the gym once. You build strength through repetition and effort. The same is true for the mind. The more consistently you repeat empowering thoughts, the more deeply they become embedded, and the more naturally your habits and decisions begin to reflect them. Your inner world begins to match the future you're creating, and eventually, your external world follows. Autosuggestion is the tool that allows you to become the architect of your mindset rather than a victim of your conditioning. Specialized knowledge is one of the greatest forms of leverage in the modern world. General knowledge may make you feel informed, but it rarely leads to mastery or real impact. The individuals who rise above the crowd, who build lasting influence, wealth, or transformation, are those who dive deep into a specific area and develop an uncommon level of understanding. When you specialize, you stop being replaceable. You stop competing on broad terms and start dominating in a narrow field. This is how value is created, not by knowing a little about everything, but by knowing a lot about one thing. In a world flooded with information, what people truly seek is clarity and expertise. They want the one person who can solve their specific problem with confidence and precision. The more focused your knowledge, the more problems you can solve with less effort. This creates demand, and demand creates opportunity. Specialized knowledge turns you into an asset. Whether you apply it to your own business, career, or creative pursuit, it gives you a powerful edge that generalists simply don't have. This doesn't mean you ignore other areas of life. It means you identify the skill, subject, or field that aligns with your purpose and go all in. You study it relentlessly, practice it daily, and constantly refine your craft. You don't settle for surface-level information. You dig until you uncover the principles, patterns, and nuances that others overlook. This depth becomes your differentiator. It becomes the reason people seek you out, trust your judgment, and pay for your expertise. Specialized knowledge is also a source of confidence. When you truly understand something, you move with certainty. You don't need to guess or follow the crowd. You make decisions based on insight, not impulse. This builds authority, and authority attracts influence. People listen to those who speak from experience, and experience is built through focused learning and applied knowledge. The more you apply what you learn, the more you refine your thinking. Theory becomes strategy. Strategy becomes execution. Execution becomes results. Mastery in any field begins with the decision to go deeper than most are willing to go. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about becoming the most committed. Specialized knowledge is not only power, it's positioning. It's how you move from being overlooked to being in demand. You become a reflection of the people you spend the most time with. Your thoughts, habits, standards, and even your level of ambition are all influenced by your environment. It's easy to underestimate this law because it happens gradually, almost invisibly. But over time, your circle either pulls you forward or holds you back. If you spend your days with people who constantly complain, settle for less, or fear change, it becomes increasingly difficult to rise above that mindset. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with driven, focused, and growth-oriented individuals, their energy begins to shape yours. Their habits influence your own. Their belief in what's possible expands your vision. No one succeeds alone. Every high performer, every great thinker, every industry leader has intentionally surrounded themselves with people who sharpen them. This is the principle of the Mastermind, a group of individuals who align mentally, emotionally, and strategically to support one another's growth. It's not just about networking. It's about finding people who challenge your thinking, hold you accountable, and encourage you to stretch beyond your comfort zone. Being in the right environment can accelerate your progress faster than years of trying to do it all on your own. Sometimes this means making hard choices. You may outgrow relationships that were once familiar. You may have to distance yourself from negativity, even when it comes from people you care about. Growth demands alignment, and alignment often requires letting go. This isn't about judgment, it's about protection. You're protecting your mindset, your focus, your future. It's about making the deliberate choice to be around those who talk about ideas instead of gossip.